Hello my crafty friends and welcome to my craft channel, Corrine Crafts. I hope you are well. I've decided this batch is going to be my last of my Christmas in July cards. I'm not saying I won't do any more Christmas, but just in this little batch. So again, I've kept it really simple. How about that? Kraft and white. Isn't that gorgeous? I've used my signature collection on the back there. We've used a stencil just to add a little bit of texture to the card. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, you can see that. Look, the circles embossed on there. Just a little bit of gold to pick it up. But again, it's a card that you're going to be able to batch make, and it's a card that you are going to be able to post. So I hope you like this one. I'll show you to make this. It doesn't take long. Really good for batch making because it's really quick and you can do lots of bits all together. So let's see how I made it. We are carrying on again with Christmas in July, and I thought I would get one of my signature collection ones out. So I know some of you might already have this. If you haven't, I apologise because obviously they're not available anymore, but you'll see the theme. I've got some frames and I love this frame, so it's just some circles. Maybe you don't need this bit on here that I'm doing, so maybe you could just do some nested circles. I know there are quite a few dies out that do this sort of, you know, twirly circle one on top of the other. This was just a circle that I drew that the very clever Lauren turned into a die, and this is the one that I am going to use. So it's got these filigree elements on, but if you didn't have them, this would work perfectly well with that. I've also found some stars just out of my craft stash, and actually this piece came with this one, I think it was. And also, again, they're out of my signature collection. Got a signature collection up there. I've used some nested squares. So just to show you, if I can get the bits down, I have cut a white one with the smallest, then a craft one, so it's still got that faux stitch around, and then the white one as well. And these are going to nest one on top of the other. I did and ah about whether I would put a gold bit on here because I'm going to put a bit of gold, but now I decided not to. I decided just to keep it like this. This is a very different look to the cards that I've created so far, and you know, this Christmas. Again, it's one that's going to work really well for posting, and it's one that's going to work really well for batch making. So actually what we could do before we start, I don't want to glue that one down, but I could glue these down so they could be starting to get dry. So we can just get a bit, again, all-purpose glue, tacky glue, PVA glue, it's entirely up to you, tape, yeah, if you want to use finger lift tape, that will work too as well, or that will work as well. So I'm going to pop that one down. So this was, I think, it was about 6.5 inches was this this square card, and I just trimmed a little bit off it. It just felt a little bit big, so it's bigger than a 6-inch card, but not quite 6.5-inch card. But the envelopes that came with it, because it was a set with envelopes, will still work because I actually only trimmed a small bit off. So then I can put this bit on here. Again, what I'm doing here with Kraft, you could do with any colours, so I like that when, you know, when it's got versatility on there. So let's just make sure all that's press down. I'll just move that slightly. If you want to, what you can be doing is you can be getting something like a stamping block and popping that on top so it can be drying. So I mentioned this one here. So this is going to be my top layer, and I did think about putting this straight on, but I thought we'd make it a little bit different. So I got a stencil. Now I'm not going to stencil with this. I'm going to emboss. So again, I'm going to get my cutting plates. I'm going to get a rubber shim. This rubber shim's seen better days. Look, I've lost half of it. I'm going to put my card on top. Now remember, I had to die cut it first before I do this embossing. Otherwise, when I die cut the shape out, it would flatten the embossing. If you don't want to do the faux stitch, you can cut this bit with your paper trimmer. That's absolutely fine. So I'm going to pop that over the top. Now don't worry it's sticking out either end, because this is going to go into my die cutter machine that way, as long as it doesn't go over the sides. And then I'm going to pop plastic shim in and other cutting plate. So what's missing is my magnetic shim, but that's made up for the fact that I've got my rubber shim. So let's pop that through, and like I said, don't worry that the stencil, for it, go. Don't forget, worry that the stencil was sticking out at the end, because I just fed that through first. Let's grab that. I wanted to make sure I showed you this. So we can take that off there, and then Now, it's not a heavy emboss, but for what we're doing, I think it's perfect. Can you... Oh, I can't see if you can see that. I think you can. Absolutely brilliant. So I've got this lovely emboss. I'll tell you what would also look nice is if you've got a stencil of holly or something Christmassy, you could be doing that as well. So let's bring this bit back down. So those bits have started to dry nicely, and I can be sticking this one on as well. Again, it's a lovely quick card. We don't want to be taking, you do for your special cards, you might be wanting to make things like that first one I did with the gorgeous red poinsettia on, but when if you know the ones you need to post out to great Aunt Margaret and the next door neighbours that have moved to Spain and all the rest of it, you need something that's postable and something that's not going to take you too long to create. And I think this sort of thing and some of the other ones that I've been showing you work perfectly. So we're doing Kraft and white, really lovely. So sticking on that theme, I've cut from that lovely die that of mine, I have cut some Kraft and some white, and I've actually got just here, just a minute, I've actually glued a couple together. I think that's thick enough, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a drop shadow with the Kraft one. So let's just grab a piece of card, and then I can do it again just like I did on previous ones. Because I'm just doing the drop shadow on the video, I am going to do it with the tape runner just for speed. If I was doing this myself, as I did with these previous layers, I used my precision glue press because it works. So drop shadow, you can drop shadow anywhere you like. I drop shadow to the left and usually down to the bottom. It's entirely up to you. Now that's far too much there, so let me just turn that around. So lay it as if it's on top and then just slide it very slightly. All I'm trying to do is create the smallest little bit of a hint of the Kraft card behind. So you can see on there, can you see that little bit of Kraft just showing? There we go. And you can see, I'll take that out of the way. Can you see you've just got that? So let's pop that onto my card. I am going to pop it upright. Now you could pop it like that, but I think it looks nicer upright. I am actually just going to go with, now let's get my precision glue press, because I've got it. We've got the tools, let's use them. Let's use them. There we go. There you go. You can see it is perfect for things like this because the amount of glue that comes out is so detailed. Sometimes I find you need to leave it just to let the glue go a little bit tacky, but as long as you do that, then it'll be perfect. Turn that around. Just worth doing that little bit of extra if that's what you want to do. So there we go. And then we're going to come down here, and it's the lightest to squeeze. It really is. I think of my crafting tools, this is probably one of the best that I bought recently. I couldn't be without my things like my die cutting machine, my heat gun, my glue gun, but I think of the ones I bought recently, I'm loving this. This would look lovely with a sort of Christmas pudding design or however you wanted to. So there we go, pop that in the middle. And then the other thing I've done, as I showed you, is I've just cut, right, I've cut out some stars, I'll show you those in a minute, and I also just made myself a little tag. Can you see? All I did was I heat embossed using my pigment ink Merry Christmas, and I've tied it with a little bit of a gold twine. Now I've got a piece of card stuck on there. What I did do, because I find that this twine unravels, is I've just put a little blob of tacky glue, which you can't actually see, especially if I can get rid of that little bit of white because it's got stuck to it. There we go. Just going to stop that from unraveling. So I'm going to pop that on. I'm going to grab a foam pad or two. Oh, these are tiny ones, but I always end up with lots of those, don't I? So let's put some foam pads on the back of here, I think. Let's pop a couple on there. And the back has just come off those. So let's put a couple just there. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to pop that on to here just like that. And if necessary, just the foam pad. So I've popped that so that it's sort of not straight. I don't want it perfectly straight. And then it's just about decorating it. So I've cut a white and a large. So I just used the two nesting ones inside each other. Then I was clever enough to keep the centres, and I actually cut an extra one of each of those. And then I've also cut some of these, oh, I've got a spare gold one there, some of these smaller ones as well. So there we are, these are just out of here, so we can just decorate this up. So I don't want those tweezers, I want my squeezy tweezers. There we go. And then I'm just going to stick these onto here. So I'm going to come down here. Let's work out where that's going to go, where I need the glue. So I need a bit of glue here, here, there we are. I'm just going to pop those on flat. So if I put that one on, I think I want, let's just knock those off so I can see what I've got on. Can you still see? Yep, there we go. And a gold one. Then let's go gold up at the top. And let's pop that one coming out of there. And then to counterbalance that, we'll have a white one. I think we'll go that way. Then I want some of these little ones. I definitely want one of those little ones onto there. I think that'll look nice. And if I've got a tiny one, let's see if I can find it. Oh yeah, there's a tiny one. Look, they're starting to pop out. Let's see if I can get a tiny one on that end. Oh yes. Let's come, because I've put it over a little bit, I'm going to come over this side because I have actually not quite got that in the centre. So what I think I might do is do a little huddle of stars to make it look, don't tell anyone, like I meant for it to be over, yeah, to one side. Got a couple of little single ones. If you want to put foam pads under these, that will work. If you want to raise them with your glue gel, that will work too. So this is just a really simple card, but really effective. Again, with being Christmas, when you're making lots, you need something that you can batch make. But again, go and have a look at what you've got in your craft stash. I bet you've got some nested circles that you can do that with. I bet you've got some stars. I bet you've got most of the things that I have used on there. Very different, quite a clean and simple card. So I know some of you really like the clean and simple look, but there you go. That's all I'm going to do to that one. Isn't that quick and simple? Now, I'm sorry I can't link to my frames, but like I said, I'm sure you've got some. I made the tag myself. You're going to have some twine. It could be any sort of twine. And how about that? That is really, really effective. White and craft with that little hint of gold. It's going to fit in an envelope absolutely beautifully, and it's going to be really easy to post. So I hope you like that one. Again, another quick one to make. And yeah, we're nearly there. I think we're nearly through Christmas in July. I'm not saying we're not going to do some more Christmas cards, but I think we are nearly there for this round. I've done 4, feels to me to be about the right number. So thank you for watching. Again, links are down at the bottom as always. I'll see what I can link for this one. There won't be a great deal of new things, but I'll link to some of the things that I've previously linked to. And I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, please click on all of the links and don't forget to support my channel. I would love you to subscribe to my channel. I'm slowly ticking up those subscribers, so it all helps so much. Thank you so much for watching. And I've got something a little bit special to come up next. My next video. Yes, you're going to love this. This is, I've recorded a video of a card I was actually making specifically for a special event. Yeah, can't wait to share that one with you because it's beautiful. So until then, take care everyone. Happy crafting, and don't forget to share your makes. See you soon. Bye.